Hi, this is Robert Heidt, President and CEO of the Glendale Chamber of Commerce. I'm here today to talk with a few of our restaurant partners here in the community to find out what they're doing, how they're taking precautionary measures to keep you safe in our new dine-to-go options. So we're going to hear from them in just a few moments. But before we do, I just want to thank you for your support. This is a tough place we find ourselves in. We're working collectively together. Our chamber team is taking this matter very safely as well. We're all working from home remotely. And we're reaching out to the business community. While we may be a member-based organization, we're reaching out to all businesses, whether they're a member or not, because right now we need to band together, work collectively as we look to come out of kind of this stay-at-home order and get back to some sense of normalcy. So I hope you enjoy hearing from a few of our restaurant owners today on what they're doing, and thank you for supporting not only the Glendale Chamber, but all business here in the city of Glendale. Hey Leanne, hey Zach, it's Robert here at the Glendale Chamber. I'm coming to you at Cuff. First, tell me what's going on. How are things going with the two of you?
We're doing okay. We're hanging in there, just trying to come in every day and take each day as it goes and see what we can do. Things have obviously changed a lot in terms of how much we're open and how much staff we have here, but we're still here every day trying to feed our regulars and feed the community and do what we can to get by.
I think about how you've had to force, it was kind of like overnight have to completely change your model of going from having people in the restaurant and at the bar to basically kind of coordinating yourselves off to the world and saying, order through our front door and, we'll bring it out to you. I mean, what kind of, how did that kind of work for you and your team to kind of have to just flip gears just as quickly as that happened to us?
Well, I think one of the biggest eye openers is how well our customers have supported us even through this transition. We definitely have had to go through a lot of changes in order to really gear up for a lot of it's all to go, as you know. And so most of our customers, when you dine, it's an experience. We generally weren't big on takeout, because you come to our restaurant for an experience. So now, since it is takeout only, we're still trying to give that customer some type of an experience. And our regulars who, usually come here a couple times a week, still keep in touch with them. What's really nice is we do have a lot of regulars, and we are able to keep in touch with them, make sure they're still doing well. It's a family. Not only is our team a family, but our extended family are our regulars also. So we try to keep in touch with them, see how they're doing, see if they have everything that they need. And what's really been nice is to see the support from our team and from our customers as well.
No, I think that's awesome. You all are definitely a staple in downtown Glendale. I see a lot of people that are your regulars. I'm going to count myself in there because I know when I come in, I don't really have to order. They usually know the usual for me for lunch. But that was a question I had for you: is what's the response been from the community? And it sounds like those regulars and those folks that do want to support you are out there and showing that support. With that said, and business operations have kind of changed, what would you say have you done differently to keep the team there at Cuff safe? Because they are like a family. I mean, you've got a great family as a team, but then also to keep the customers safe. What have you done differently, kind of internally, and then kind of how you engage with the customers as they do the pickup, to share with us on this new dine-to-go option?
Well, we had to flip pretty quickly to already extend our, pretty high standards of cleanliness. So just making sure everyone maintains those standards. And then from that, we kind of sequestered off the restaurant. So there's limited contact available when people walk in the front door. It's just a couple feet people can walk in. Beyond that, we opened up our back alley as a drive-through. We're lucky to have that option that cars could drive up to the back alley, stay in their car. We'll come out with masks and gloves on and just have limited interaction, handing the food out to the customers, but still able to see them face to face, But that'll be the extent of it, kind of making sure everyone stays safe and clean and make sure the staff feels safe. And we've worked really hard on that to make sure it feels that way when people come in.
Well, I definitely know it firsthand. I think right before the stay kind of changed to dine to go, I know I was in just before that for a lunch meeting, and I'll tell you, I saw the team there wiping down the booths and keeping people separated. So I think what's really nice is that folks like yourselves and others in the service industry started taking precautions early on by separating tables out a little bit further apart and going through and sanitizing and cleaning down after people left. So kudos to you, because I saw you doing that really before the Dine to Go started, and it showed me, I think, and all those people that love you guys, just how serious it was, and that you were making sure that every precaution was taken for them to come in and show that support. So you know what, there's several restaurants that are working with Dine to Go. There's some that closed right away, and there's some that are coming back online. Is there any advice or any kind of tidbits of information that you might share with others in the food and beverage industry who are either toying with the idea, do I open my doors up here in the next couple days, or who are going, of a lesson learned that you've had and experienced in this new model of doing business?
I think it depends on what situation each restaurant is in. I think we are lucky enough that we have a stable customer base that opening up makes sense for us for the short term. But I would say to our peers and to the public at large, it's not paying the bills per se. We're not opening the door so that we can make all the money we used to make the restaurant run. It's more as a sense of normalcy, as a sense of service to the community, the people that still depend on us to have our food once or twice a week, to see the people that we're used to seeing. I think that is more valuable in some ways, and to keep everybody employed in some manner and keep everyone having a job is definitely a priority of ours, so that we can keep those people on staff and keep the future looking bright for us. We all know that the money's not going to add up at the end of this month, because it's a lot slower these days, and restaurants aren't designed to operate this way. But as a service to the community, we still think it's valuable to offer what we can in this time of strife.
You all are awesome in that. I know that you're known for your Cuff Burger as one of those items, but I also saw you've been really active on social media, which is great because we need that right now. You've done some kind of Dine to Go options that are family style, so I think that's something unique that that wasn't something you had done previous, and you probably always would offer it if someone called and did an order, but that was kind of a new way of promoting Cuff as, hey, for a family of 4, here's a dinner option. So I give you all great kudos for adapting and coming up with new ways to connect with us, because it is that sense of connecting back to you and the community. You're very important to the chamber, to downtown Glendale, to the city. You all matter, and we want to see you successful. In with everything that's going on, and it's not just us here in Arizona, in Glendale, it's global. We've seen a lot of acts of kindness and different things taking place. Is there anything that you've witnessed or you've kind of taken in throughout this that you want to share that has kind of maybe touched you all and that you've seen?
Well, one thing down here, because it is downtown Glendale and it's kind of like a tight-knit community, we've worked with other restaurants that are still open. And well, as you know, we buy in big bulk. And at this point, it's really hard to sell through that product quick enough so it stays fresh. So we've been working with a couple restaurants where we're getting that product in and splitting it up so that we're not sitting on so much product at one time. So we're helping each other out that way to support each other. And I think that's pretty neat because, we're there for one another as a business, and we're checking on each other. Each of our businesses, we're checking on each other, seeing how they're doing. Is there anything we can help them with? Things like that. So that's kind of been really nice to see down here that we're, sticking together and supporting one another in that way through this hard time.
That's amazing, and I think that's just another example of how the service industry, particularly with food and beverage, is working together. Because what you said is when you buy things to keep the freshness, to work to split it up and divide that out so that that freshness is there and that you don't bear all that cost and or product sitting on your shelves, but working collectively. And I can speak to that. I think you're right in downtown. We've got some very great restaurants and unique restaurants down there, so it's nice to see the collaboration. You're right, and I think you all know this well because you're very involved in downtown and the forward movement of that. It's about the experience, and we've got an amazing downtown, and we keep adding and doing great things. What do you look forward to most, being a place of experience as we get back to some sense of normalcy? What's going to be at the top of your list to see as a part of what happens as Cuff's lights come back brighter than ever before, and the hustle bustle is in there, and the libations are flowing? What's going to be that highlight for each of you?
I think we probably share most people's highlights, just being able to go back out and go to your favorite restaurant and sit down and have a drink and have some food, seeing everyone get filled back up in the restaurants and the parks. For us personally, we just celebrated our 5-year anniversary right before all this went down. And we were toying with the idea of having some sort of customer appreciation party. And as things go, we got too busy, things slowed down a lot. The second all this stuff back has opened up, we're going to throw a big party for all of our chamber connections and our regulars and customers to come out, just see each other and be able to go back out again. We're definitely looking forward to that day of having everyone back in the doors and celebrate with all of our friends.
I think it will be nice to see when people come back in, the relief that people will have, that they feel safe once again to go out and to be a part of the community and to get to see, their friends, be with their family. I think there'll be a lot of stress lifted off people at that point when they feel like that they can, get back out and do things. And I think that'll just bring just a lot of joy to people as they get to, experience that once again like before.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to it too. We missed our fuel breakfast with you all. You are an amazing host. A lot of our chamber family is telling the team, who is all working remotely, how much they miss our chamber family and getting out there. So you're our amazing host every first Friday of the month. So we can't wait to get back over to Cuff early in the morning, because you're normally not open for breakfast. But I know you've done some brunch things on the weekends and things like that. But happy anniversary. I know I can't give you a hug. I'll send you a virtual hug now, but happy 5 years. I knew that was coming up and you had been working on that. So as things get back online, let us know how we can help and partner with you and get that message out there. But I know you've got a lot going on, and I hope that there's a great customer base that continues to support you while we're in these kind of stay-at-home measures to be taking precautions. So in closing, is there anything that you all want to share that I didn't cover? Cuff is an amazing place. I think we all know that, hands down. But something that each of you would like to share that I didn't ask about, or that you'd like someone to know that while we're sitting here today talking?
Besides just, supporting the restaurants and the businesses that you have around you, I think it's really important to share that with your friends and kind of just keep talking with each other and communicate, so that we're all here together getting through this. Besides just downtown Glendale, wherever you may live, businesses like us, we're lucky enough to stay open and have our doors open. Some won't be. So definitely try and support your local community. They're the ones that are going to be hit hardest by this. So just, go out and support in any way you can. Follow people's social media, buy gift cards, send emails, whatever you can do just to support the community, larger than just us or the downtown Glendale area. Everywhere needs it right now. Nice.
How about you, Leanne? Anything you want to share as we part ways today?
So I just hope that that we can be there if anybody needs us for anything whatsoever, even if it's just somebody to talk to. We all need to encourage everybody right now and keep our hopes up. And whether it's through a phone call, they haven't been in for a while and they just need somebody to talk to. I mean, we're here for people, the community, and our friends in any way, any capacity whatsoever, not just to serve them food. I think it goes deeper than that. So, we're here, we're happy to help out, and we're here to support our family, our friends, our community. So, and everybody needs to check on everybody else and make sure they have, their family and friends are doing well, and support them also, give them encouragement.
Well,
through this.
I couldn't agree with you both more. And definitely you've become part of that fabric of downtown. You're an important part of the downtown community. So keep doing what you're doing. Hang in there. I know it's tough. We're going to get through this, and we'll look forward to celebrating 5+ years. We'll add the plus onto the end of that 5-year celebration. I'm sending you both a big virtual hug, and I can't wait to get back in there and get our chamber folks back out there and the rest of the community. But both of you take care. You know how to get a hold of me or the chamber. If you need anything, we're here to help you. You know, the city, Jesse, the whole team over there is absolutely there to help. So let us know anything we can do. But I look forward to seeing you both very, very soon.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank
you too.
you.
All right, take it easy. Be safe. Hey, John, it's Robert here from the Glendale Chamber. I think Manuel's is definitely a favorite within our community. I thank you for taking some time to join me. So first and foremost, tell me what's going on. Share with me what's happening in your world.
Oh, our world is topsy-turvy right now. With the governor's order to shut down all of the restaurants as far as the dining rooms. We're still able to provide takeout, curbside delivery, but that has put a big crunch in our ability to, first of all, keep our employees working. I mean, we have some working, but we've had to furlough quite a few of them, and we're just hopefully trying to get through this COVID-19 problem that we're having and get back open so we can get these people back to working and providing for their families and provide for our family as well. So.
No, you're not alone, my friend. I think there's a lot of a lot of folks in your industry are really trying to adapt to kind of the new way of doing business. What would you say in this new wave of going to the curbside and dine to go? What's been the biggest eye opener for you as a restaurant operator owner of kind of the way you do business? Never mind that the customers aren't there, but behind the scenes, the things that we don't actually see. What's been that big eye opener for you, perhaps?
Well, it's been mostly a big adjustment period. I mean, we were used to ordering so much more. So we've had to learn to adjust to, control our inventories a lot tighter, order a lot less because our volume is a lot less. And, to keep the product fresh and keep, everything, good for our customers. So that was a little bit of a learning curve. Took us about a week and a half to get, through all of that. And, some stuff that we would end up giving to our employees so they could take some extra foodstuffs that we had so they could take and feed their families. And but we got on top of things. We also had to order a lot more product for bags and pans, to-go pans and things like that, which we weren't used to doing that. And so we were running to the supply store because we were running out of stuff because a lot of our business shifted from dining room stuff to-go stuff. So it was a little bit of a learning challenge, but I mean, necessity is a mother of invention. You just you adapt. Well, and we're good at adapting.
I was going to say you're a long time expert in this industry. So this isn't you're in your first year. You definitely probably adapt fairly quickly. One of the things I think with this crisis that we're facing, we have to change the way we're doing business. How are you working to keep your team there safely? What are you doing differently perhaps than you didn't do a couple weeks ago before this broke down? But then with the dine to go option, how are you working so we can tell your customers things are safe? So we want them to come out and support you in the curbside pickup and dine to go.
Well, first of all, the cleanliness portion and sanitization has jumped up, maybe 500%. I mean, we're continually wiping things with the sanitizer and, just looking at what other restaurants are doing. Some places they have a little pen holder for sanitary pens, and they'll sanitize the pens and put them in, the clean one. And so they're doing things like that, wearing a lot more rubber gloves and, keeping distancing better. We're trying to follow all of the things that the CDC is recommending. And as I still go to a lot of restaurants, and unfortunately I have to get to go just like everybody else. So I'm looking to see what they're doing. And, and I have a lot of friends in the business that, we're always keeping in contact with. And I was a member of the Restaurant Association for many, many years. And so I have a lot of friends there and a lot of old competitor friends that I used to hang around with and, work with. So we're always on the phone with each other and talking about, what they're doing, different ways of doing things.
No, I think it's amazing, in times like this where we band together as industries, as communities, and we come together, we learn from best practices. You touch on something, and you are, your family is a long-time owner of restaurants, and you've been involved for a long time. And while you're finding ways to adapt and overcome, some of the restaurants unfortunately did close and aren't offering dine to go, but they're looking at maybe opening their doors up and giving it a shot. Is there any advice that you would share with any of those peers of yours in the food and beverage industry if they're going to open their doors up? I mean, I know it's not easy. You get up every day and it's a tough battle to forge through, but any advice that you might offer out there?
Well, the advice that I can give you is what my dad used to tell me, is save your money, honey. That's because there's going to come a time that, you're going to have a problem and you want to have at least, 5 to 6 months worth of operating expenses. So when something like this does happen, you're not left hanging out to dry. And, fortunately we did that. And, we did have quite a bit of reserves that we can, and we're using them up. I mean, so that's the main thing. A lot of people, they get in business and they start making a lot of money. And next thing you know, they're driving a new BMW or a Mercedes. And, I'm still driving a Honda. So
no, that's good advice. As a Chamber of Commerce, and you've been a longtime partner of ours, and you've got such a rich history. Those are some of the business lessons that we try to work with our partners on. Of things are good today, and we're all reaping the rewards, but we have to prepare our businesses and our models of business for storms. It's unfortunate this storm that we're weathering. We're going to come out of it, and hopefully we come out of it stronger. But that's absolutely some good advice. I think back to some of my folks in my family and save your money, honey. I think I might have heard the same thing. So there's probably something said about the generation of your father and others that share that message of save your money, honey. So that's good advice. One thing I think with this crisis that we're facing, there's been so many folks who have stepped forward and stepped up with acts of kindness and different things. Is there anything that you can touch on that you've seen that touches at your heartstrings that you've witnessed that you could share out there with those folks here in Glendale and beyond that are going to watch and tune into this?
Well, it never ceases to amaze me, the kindness of customers. We've been in business for almost 60 years, and we have a lot of customers for many generations, and I have never seen customers that have been more charitable. I mean, their tips are bigger, or they'll give, somebody will give $100 bill and say, pass it around the employees that are working. And that just, really warms my heart. And when I go out to eat, I like to tip extra too, because I know that it's difficult. And I know there's a lot of people that are out of work that got displaced, especially the dining room workers, the bussers. And, we try to keep our cooks working and our management and things like that. And we're using some of the food service to help package up to-go orders. And in Glendale, we've been pretty fortunate because that store has been holding up fairly decent with the ship from dining room to-go has been rather extraordinary. And I really appreciate all of the people in Glendale that have supported, our family and our family business over there. They've been just wonderful. And so, I just want them to know that. And I really do appreciate the fact that they're being so generous with the tipping and helping, because we're able to pass that on to our employees that are working. And I know they appreciate it because they can afford to buy milk and diapers and all that kind of stuff, to take care of their families. And that's really, really important, especially to me.
You touched on something I was going to ask you, is how was the community responding? But I think of the restaurants that the chamber team and I have been speaking to, our community is stepping up, and there's still some fear out there, but they're getting out there. They're supporting the restaurants. It's nice to hear that they're adding on tips. The restaurant industry, it can be very fun and challenging at the same time. I always joke and say, and I have a restaurant background from growing up and starting as a dishwasher and working my way up through my uncle's place. But I will will tell you, I think everybody should be a server at some point because they'd have a whole new appreciation for when they go out. And I think folks in the service industry get that, and that's why they are that way to one another, and they try to take care of each other.
Absolutely.
You know, as a business owner, as a family-run business, you know, you're about that experience. You go in, you have your margarita, you have your beer, your chips, your salsa, you have some great Mexican food. What are you looking forward to most as we get back to some sense of normalcy? What does that look like for you, for John and family of you know, kind of Manuel's empire? What does that look like?
Well, you know, we've always been we have always been serving people, and you know, we try to make people happy. You know, we love it when families come in and we see the kids, and they start out in the high chair, and the next thing you know, they're with us and they're graduating from high school or bringing in their kids. And so, I mean, it's hard to explain because it's just something that we do every day. And when you do it every day, you kind of think it's never going to end. And then something like this happens and you're like, whoa, you know, this is really, really bad. But Manuel's has been through a lot of things. I mean, we've been through the recession in 2008. We've been through 9/11. We've been through the recession in 1980 when, you know, all the banks closed down, and, you know, we had lots of issues when we were trying to get financing to build the Glendale store. It was back in around 1980, and it took me 2 years to get the funding. And I remember going to banks and saying, they're telling me, well, you know, you haven't been in business long enough. We were in business 25 years at that point in time. And I would look at the banker and I'd say, well, you know, we've been in business longer than any bank in Arizona, because at that time, all of the banks had closed down and they were all, you know, all of the guys were moving in. So he looked at me and he said, well, you're right. So I go, well, you know, we've been through adversity before, and we'll be going through adversity again. That's just part of life.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, if you just you know, hang in there and get through it, and save your money, honey, for a rainy day, because we're in a rainy day right now. And you know, that's, you know, the best advice I could give to anybody. And just, you know, do the right thing. Be smart. Take care of your people. Take care of your health, take care of your family, and, you know, try to go on from there. So
absolutely,
that's what we do. So.
Now, is there anything in your mind that I didn't ask you today, just that you'd like to share out to the community? I know your family has restaurants in and around the area, so not just in Glendale, but anything that you want to share out there and let people know for not only you as Manuel's, but also those that you know, are in the food and beverage industry. Anything that you want to share?
Well, mostly it's just, like I said, we've been through adversity in the past, and, you know, we will get through this. You know, we don't want to go crazy. If you could if you could tell me where to find toilet paper, that would be really great. Go to the grocery store, I can't buy paper towels, and, you know, the shelves are barren. I think people are kind of just getting crazy. So I guess the thing that I could tell somebody is just mellow out. You know, it's not the end of the world. You know, we're going to get through this, and don't go hoarding and don't be doing crazy stuff. I mean, you know, if we all work together, we'll get through this, you know, and there'll be other things we'll have to get through in the future, but, you know, we'll figure it out at the time.
You're right.
You know, that's what we do. We're human beings, and we figure things out.
Yeah,
you know?
You're right.
We're resourceful. You know, I don't expect the government to give me a handout, and, you know, these things are just as trying on the government as it is on us, you know, and I have to give people in the healthcare industry that they're working their tails off and putting themselves in harm's way. I have to give them, you know, my hat's off to them, and I pray for them, and I wish them the best. They're the heroes right now. You know, we're just serving tacos and enchiladas, but they're saving lives, you know, and right. So that's the thing that I would want people to understand and realize, and, you know, just pray for those people that are taking care of the sick, and hopefully we can get through this, and we'll all have tacos and margaritas to celebrate, you know. When the time comes, and, you know, when everything is
that's right,
and we'll be there, and, you know, we hope they'll be there too.
Well, we look forward to that, John. We absolutely do. I can't thank you enough for being, a part of the Glendale Chamber. I can't thank you enough for choosing to keep your business here in Glendale. You matter to us. You matter to our community. You have an amazing family, an amazing, rich history, throughout the region. Thank you very, very much. I know you've got a lot going on. Keeping those of your folks that are employed out there. With that, we're here to be of support as we can. Please don't hesitate to reach out, call, text, but please know that we're here. We want to see you succeed. And as this comes out of, we're looking forward to coming over for some margaritas and some great food and some great company. And I can't thank you enough.
We're looking forward to having you, and thank you so much.
All right, John, give your family a big hug from us, and we'll talk to you soon. So I'll start off. I'm Robert from the Glendale Chamber here with Jerry from the Yard House. I would just want to thank you for taking a few minutes with us today to share what's going on in your world. First and foremost, tell me what's happening from your perspective.
For me, it kind of happened kind of fast. I feel for the team members. It's all of a sudden it was, the reality was out there, but then things just started changing in the community, and then pretty soon we were just takeout only. So it kind of happened fast in our eyes.
I think you're right. It hit us hard, and that transition to go from having an active, you're a large dining room. I mean, you're definitely a hub of activity. What's been that big eye opener for you and the team there that's keeping the ship afloat, and kind of having that flip the switch and almost overnight?
Definitely events. I mean, our area of Westgate's definitely event driven, and just the families. I mean, just seeing how quiet, our area is right now without families in the water park, just simple as that. Obviously all the, events that happen at the arena and the stadium means a lot to us, but just to see people out and about, and the lack of it has definitely changed, and it's a different sense of feeling.
Absolutely. One of the things is with that, there's still people who are out there supporting the Dine to Go options, and we're grateful to those folks that are helping to keep our service industry restaurants like yourself open. But things have changed. So what are you all doing from a precautionary standpoint for, one, your team that's there at the restaurant, but then also to tell those folks who have gone or maybe are thinking about going out, because we want them to get out there and support you, what you're doing to keep everyone safe, given the current times?
To be honest with you, so much gratitude towards Westgate for helping us with the curbside assistance and stuff like that. But we're following our protocol on, keeping sanitary, situations going on, of making sure that we're wiping down the door handles, offering, pickup side on the curbside, even out on our patio. So we're doing our part. There's 4 of us a day in the building, so we're really cautious on our distancing between each other. Making sure that we have the black X's 6 feet apart for our guests, but also for me, it's making sure that the guests still feel welcomed. When they come. I mean, that's one of our biggest things. As a company, as guests, are number one. So making sure that we're giving that service to them, even curbside. So that's our biggest goal.
No, you know what? And it's nice because since you're a part of a complex there at Westgate Entertainment District, that there is that great support from their partners around. It's different if you're a freestanding location off to the side somewhere and you're kind of in complete control. So it's nice to see the partnerships and the unity that's really coming together of everyone working in that sense. One of the things I would say is, we always learn best practices from one another. We all talk, whether it's in our, the chamber industry or food and beverage industry. Some restaurants shut their doors right away. Some have hung in there with curbside to go. Some are now actually looking at maybe reopening in the kind of modified business model. Is there any nuggets of information or wisdom that you might share out with the food and beverage industry of what they should, what they might want to consider doing, or what's working? What lesson learned you have?
We minimized our menu, which is tough because at the get-go, we want to accommodate our guests on our full menu aspect of it, just making sure that we are giving the guests exactly what they want. So we've done a couple of modifications within our building to make our regulars, because we do have a lot of regulars that want certain items. So we're just trying to accommodate as much as we can and keep that positive attitude, to get them through this. And to get us through it. It's our energy, I believe, to be honest with you, is what's keeping us going.
No, I think so. And even though that the Yard House has a bigger, kind of name, it's not necessarily a family-owned restaurant. The one thing I will say is that you definitely have that experience there that makes people feel welcomed. When I'm over at Westgate for lunch, it seems to be Megan always ends up being my server. I think she's learned I'm the ahi crunchy tuna salad.
Yes.
So even so that, people might say, well, Yard House doesn't have that authenticity feel because it's a chain, if you will. You do have that, and that's something that I think is an asset. Is that you still make people feel like they're part of the family, part of the community, and that's something that I think that sets you all apart. So kudos to you for that. What would you say has been the response of the community so far?
To be honest, you brought up such a great point, because that's been the fun of it. Because with only 4 of us, we're in the building. We're just so one-on-one with the guests right now, but there's so many regulars, and what I love is that they're asking so many questions about certain team members, certain bartenders, even about other guests, that they've have met, from being regulars. So to be honest with you, just hearing the care that they have about our team members, like I can't wait to share that with certain team members that are being asked about.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, it just really shows what a sense of community we are. I mean, sometimes we get in our own little zone and bubbles, and we're going about our daily life, but we really do take notice of what's around us. And I think this really embodies who we are as a community. We're part of a major metro area, but the one thing I can say is Glendale has a lot of heart, and specifically there in Westgate, because there's a lot of dining options, and there's a lot of opportunity there. And so you definitely set yourselves apart.
Thank you.
And what you said is about the people who are asking about the team members and who's there. There's so much kindness out there right now. What would you say you've witnessed from a random act of kindness? What are you seeing from your perspective? I mean, there's so much happening. What strikes at your heartstrings? What pulls at your heartstrings about what's going on right now?
Just for me, just people really caring and asking about my team members, to be honest with you, like that gives me chills, like you don't even understand, just because I care so much about them. But they're giving tips, and we're accumulating those, and we're going to do something special with the team members. But honestly, it's the care that you see in their eyes when they do sincerely, come in, because we currently don't have the music on, so the vibe is different. Without the team members, the vibe is different, and so when they come in, it's like that hit of reality, like it's different, without us as a whole team. So that's been interesting. But even guests, like, understanding the reality of staying the 6 feet away from each other, having that respect of it, understanding that it's not like they want to go. Like they have that time of, okay, let's deal with this guest, and accommodate them for this moment, and then move on. Nobody's rushing in the sense of they have some place to go. Like they're really taking it in. If you say, like, it's a different feel, but it's good.
That's awesome. I think that's what's interesting about us is, we're really starting to see that kindness and genuine side of people come out. In business, there's all those things around us that you say. We've got the building, you've got the vibe, the atmosphere, the music, but really when it comes down to it, it's the people in those businesses that make the difference. And without people, business doesn't happen. And so I know you've got an amazing team over there, and it's tough, and everyone's struggling right now. What would you say you're looking forward to most when we get back to whatever that new sense of normalcy is? What will make you, what's kind of on that top of the list for you that you look to and go, this is my go-to for when we can get back to what it looks like?
The team to be united. Like we're communicating, the team put a support center together for each other, which does not surprise me, but I loved hearing about it. But when we have the energy of all of us in that building together, and when we work as a team, I'm so proud to stand back and just watch the energy of them work together. And so I miss that. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for the guests to come in and feel that vibe. I'm ready to see that traffic that I love looking out the window and just seeing just people like walking around and enjoying life. I'm ready for that.
No, that's amazing. And where you're located right there in Westgate, for the chamber, for the city of Glendale, for Big Yem who owns the property there is a lot of excitement happening just within, say, a 1 mile radius. I mean, there's a lot of new homes, there's new commerce happening. There's a lot of energy that, is on the horizon and keeps going. So you're in an exciting place. You're kind of our entertainment mecca, if you will, even so we don't have all the games and things happening right now. I see it'll be no time at all before the life is just, flowing and energy going over there again. And anything that I left out that you want to share about Yard House, or anything that's going on with those who are going to watch this, near and far? Anything that I didn't ask you?
No, I truly want to thank everybody for the support. Like even the signs of support Glendale, support, the takeout and delivery, like, it makes me smile every time I see that sign when I pull into work. It's that community where, it's very limited. The traffic is definitely down, but you see the people that are taking that chance to go out and support. And that means a lot because, family means a lot. So when they take that chance, that's the value that I really appreciate in the community.
No, that's awesome. We thank you for choosing Glendale, for choosing Westgate to keep your business in. On behalf of the chamber, the city, we can't thank you enough. I mean, it matters. You're the backbone. You're the lifeline of our communities. And so without you, we don't prosper. We don't have all the great things. So I can't thank you enough, Jerry. We're here to be a good partner to you. If there's anything we can do, don't hesitate to reach out. Wrap your hands around that team and give them a big hug from all of us here at the Glendale Chamber. And we hope to be back soon. I definitely hope to be in for lunch soon, so please tell Megan I'll be looking forward to seeing her again. And
I love it.
And again, we can't thank you enough. Hang in there. We know it's not easy, but we're going to get through this, and we'll come out on the stronger side for it. So I thank you so much for taking some time today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Jerry, have a good day. Be safe.
You too. Okay.
Alrighty,
you too.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Dave, it's Robert here at the Glendale Chamber. Thanks for taking some time out of your busy day to visit with me. First and foremost, how are you doing, my friend? What's going on in your world?
There's a lot going on. Obviously, we're all going through the same thing. There's silver lining to it, though. I spend a lot more time with my kids. They're out of school indefinitely right now. So aside from all the business stuff going on, there's a lot of family time that's happening, so that's always nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me, what do you think now that the business model has changed to the dine to go option? What's been the biggest eye opener for you?
Honestly, I think the fact that not just we have to do it, everybody has to do it. Like the whole nation basically went to takeout. There's no dine-in anywhere for the most part. I mean, some other states may have it, I'm not too sure. But I think the biggest eye-opener is just how many people are always in the restaurant at all times, working, eating, drinking, whatever they're doing. Seeing it just fall so far back to just two people in the restaurant, a cook and a server, or myself who's taking the orders. It makes you wonder how we function every day with so many people in the restaurant.
Yeah, it's probably some days like you look back and you go, wow, it's organized chaos when it's in full hustle bustle.
Yeah.
So, with kind of the new option of dine to go, tell us, what are you doing to not only keep yourself and whoever's there with you at the restaurant safe during this time, but what are you doing and how you interact with your customers who are coming out to show you support?
Sure. So, like I said in a post that we did right when all this started, we're going to continue to do what we've done for the last 12 years, and that's take food and health safety very serious. We have heightened our sanitization or sanitizing, whatever you want to say. There's different terminology for it, but obviously we've learned some things about this virus, how it can live on stainless steel and cardboard for different amounts of times. So we have been, wiping the stainless down every hour. The sanitizing of the kitchen and cleaning of products, it's just getting done more than usual. But then again, we have the no contact delivery or I say delivery from us to the customer when they come to our to-go window. It's left there for them. It's packaged up, plasticed up. So we're wearing gloves, masks, the whole nine, the same thing everybody else is doing. I'm not sure what their cleaning measures are in their restaurants and their kitchens, but we're an every hour on the hour place right now.
I would say probably as we get to go back to some sense of normalcy, every place we go to is going to be the cleanest it's probably ever been since it first opened.
Yeah, and it's tough to think about it that way because we should all be doing that the entire time, which I'm sure all of us have. I think there's just a lot more things that we're looking at, the nooks and crannies that are on the floor or on the side of a piece of equipment that get wiped down. I think they're getting wiped down, more than they ever have in their existence at a restaurant. But yeah, the places are going to be pretty spotless when things go back to normal.
I think so. Hey, so you know what? Tim Finnegan's is a great place right there at Bell and 59th. I mean, I know I've been in personally. Right. Many of our chamber members, many of the community, they love you guys there. What's been the response from your take on it from our community? How are they adapting to Dine to Go? I mean, what's that feel like for you guys over there?
In the very beginning, the first 2 weeks were just amazing. The outreach from the community was second to none. I mean, we had, our regulars showing up, 2-3 times a week, sometimes 2 times a day, to support us, knowing that we're built off an experience coming in, enjoying the warm feel of the wood and getting that kind of Irish atmosphere and the Irish culture. It's hard to get that to go. You can get that in food, but to have that experience, it's hard to get it to go. So the community really, came out and supported us and had our back. The first 2 weeks were just crazy. And then it just slowly tapers off. I think that happens everywhere. There's so many options for people to eat out there. So I'm just more happy that they are supporting us and my neighbors and other small local businesses in Glendale. I think the support and the outreach from them has just been tremendous.
No, I think that's great to hear. Our community never seems to amaze me with what we do. Right. And that's kind of our goal here at the Chamber, and then working in partnership with the city, is making sure that we're promoting you, because as the next few weeks go on, while we're under this state order, we do have to get out there and support you guys. From your perspective, what would you say to those other peers of yours in the food and beverage industry that whether they're open, is there a good nugget, a lesson learned, or that restaurant that initially closed but now is coming back online because Dine to Go seems like it's working, others are making that successful. Is there any advice that you'd give to your friends and peers out there in the food and beverage industry?
I would just say keep plugging away. I mean, in our business, success didn't happen overnight. I mean, some places get the gold mine location and it happens overnight, but it doesn't happen overnight. And we know the to-go thing is not going to just be good overnight for everybody. So you have to find ways to adapt to it, whether it's adding, a special or, donating food to the frontline workers or something. You have to find a niche and you have to stay with it. It has opened our eyes to see what numbers look like. So you have to run your numbers and make sure it's really going to fit for your location. If it's closing for a while, it's closing for a while. If it's staying open and trying to grind it out, that's what you have to do. So I would just say, don't give up and keep going. I mean, we started these businesses for a reason and we took the chance to do it. The risk is worth the reward. We all have seen that. Just keep pushing forward.
I think you're right. You're absolutely right. You touched on something where, there's been people who are out there doing these random acts of kindness and really trying to help our everyone in our community. What would you say? Have you seen anything that's kind of struck you from an act of kindness that's going on? And it may not be specific to your business, but just in general that kind of gave you that really good, warm feeling inside to let you know that we're going to come out of this and we're going to come out of it stronger than we were ever before?
Yeah, I think there's just a more sense of unity, not just in Glendale, I think around the nation. I think we're still a little divided. There's still people who are on the, this isn't serious, and there's people that are, this is very serious, and there's those people right in the middle of it. But I think the sense of unity and understanding why some people don't think it's serious and why some people think it's more serious than others, I think people are more open-minded to hearing people out right now. Is it a random act of kindness? Probably not. But I think that they're kind of forced to listen to that stuff. But I think seeing a lot of the people who can't afford meals being able to go to some of our places, not just me, but a friend of mine has a couple places. They're doing meals for people who are on assisted lunches, for kids who are on assisted lunches. That's directly out of their own pocket. They're not making any money off of that. So it's nice to see those things happen. The frontline worker stuff is nice. I mean, the list goes on. The fire departments, the support for everybody has been awesome. And I think that's big to see, because there's not enough of that. When the world's ticking at a regular pace, those things just get lost in the shuffle. But now, since they're the only things that are out there, or the only things that we're hearing about, you see and hear more of it.
No, I agree with you. It's kind of nice to see that in the bad of what's happening out there, we're coming together,
Right.
and we're really trying to help each other out. You're a destination. You and other restaurants and bars, you're the places that we like to go. As a community, when we're done our work day on Friday nights or on the weekends with our families, we like to go out and see. So, as someone
Sure.
that's leading in our service industry, what are you looking forward to getting back? What does normal look like to you? What are you looking forward to most when we kind of have this order lifted and we start to resume what our daily lives are like? What's going to get you going, or what are you looking forward to most?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously don't know when this is going to end. We want to say it's going to be April, the end of April, maybe May, who knows? Obviously, it's just how the numbers kind of taper out. But what we're really looking forward to, what we missed out on, was St. Patrick's Day. I think we're going to look into doing a delayed St. Patrick's Day, or what I would call a COVID release party. So
Nice.
honestly, that stuff is awesome, and we love having that. Those are our biggest days of the year. But what I'm really looking forward to is people coming back in and able to sit down and interact and talk with each other, and maybe still keep that social distance if they want. But I always say there's nothing better at my restaurant than when there's people in it. So I just want to see the people come back. I want people to be able to go out and enjoy themselves, not just at my place, anywhere. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is people being able to go back out and, watching people in the restaurant have a good time again.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. I like the idea of having the COVID release party. You'll definitely have to keep us all posted. I know that
Sure.
obviously March would be a big month for you, so it impacted you there. As a chamber, we were set to schedule to have our business after hours with you coming up, and I know that's kind of gotten turned upside down. So if you absolutely have the COVID release party, let us know so we can come out and support it, and maybe we can dove that as the after hours with you and really partner
Right.
together and get the community out, to, like you said, to you and to the other restaurants. So
Yeah.
I know you've got a lot going on there. I don't want to take too much more of your time. As you close out with me here today, is there anything else that you'd like to share that I didn't ask you that you just want to kind of let us all know about? We're grateful to have you, your business located here in Glendale,
Sure.
as a part of our community, whether or not it's what's going on today or into the future. So I can't thank you enough for hanging in there. And like you said, you got to keep going. You got to keep in the fight.
Right.
But anything you'd like to share that I didn't ask, or that you'd like to tell the world kind of what's going on in Dave's mind and thought with everything, or is that too dangerous?
That's a loaded question, Robert. No, I think, we talked enough and we hit everything on the head, like you said, but, I just want people to know out there that these things are going to pass. It may not be overnight, just like I always say, nothing's forever, but really, just stay optimistic and don't get down and into a hole. If you don't want to go out somewhere else, at least get outside of your house, do something, keep the blood flowing a little bit, just keep a positive mindset. That's all you can do.
Yeah, I agree with you. And Tim, you've got my cell phone number. You and I text and call.
Right.
So if there's anything that I can do, the chamber can do, let me know. In addition, we're working closely with the city, and we really want to help business prosper and work on kind of what that relief comes out of there. And I hope that all of our chamber family and those that aren't affiliated with the chamber come out and support you at Tim Finnegan's. You guys are amazing. You're great community partners and supporters. I truly can't thank you enough. And hang in there. I know it's tough. But we're going to come out of this better than we were before we got into it.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me.
All right, my friend, take it easy. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you soon. Hey, Glendale, thank you for tuning in to watch and hear from Dave, Zach, Leanna, John, and Jerry. We can't thank them enough. While we only chose 4 restaurants to feature, we've got an amazing lineup of restaurants and food and beverage opportunities here in Glendale. So please check those out who are out there and supporting their staff by staying open with dine to go options. A couple things that you should know. The Chamber has been collectively working with our partner in the city on a number of things to show our support. First and foremost, the team at the Chamber worked on some infographics that actually show a listing of the restaurants, hours, times, what they're offering, and even specials. I'm amazed to see some of the specials that are out there. So we're primarily focusing those communication efforts through social media. They seem to be working well. And I got to give it to the city in economic development. They work quickly to get red banners that dine to go, out there for our restaurants, providing them at no cost, free of charge for restaurants to post up outside of their business. They could pick them up. There's some folks that are actually out there dropping them off. Another great way to let the community know that business is open, and we want you to get out and support those restaurants. Another interesting one is the city took an initiative and created a website that actually pinpoints the restaurants. So this will actually show you all over Glendale all the different restaurants. You can click on it. You can learn a little bit more about that restaurant, see how close it is to your home, get out there. Maybe you're cooped up for a while, so a quick drive down a couple miles to get something to eat might be a nice treat for you and the family. So definitely get out and support that. And if you are out and driving, be safe. But you'll also notice on those signboards in and around our community that usually will tell you to slow down, it's our town, and be safe. They're actually telling you about supporting our restaurants. So, while we know a lot of businesses are impacted and shuttered, for those that are open, we want to try to show our support. You heard from a few folks what they're doing. They are taking some of the most amazing precautions to keep you safe and concerned with the freshness and making sure that you do have options. So while your local supermarket may not have all the things that you fancy or you're looking for, we definitely got an amazing lineup of restaurants here in Glendale. So with that, I just want to thank you for your support of the Glendale Chamber. If there's anything we can do, we are here to help you. We are your partner in business. We are a partner in our community, and you do matter. And one final thank you is we couldn't have done this without our partners here at Sneaky Big. So thank you so much for your support and pulling together the amazing technology to make this all happen. Thank you. You're a great community partner, and we couldn't do it without you. So please stay safe with your loved ones. Keep your distance, wash your hands, and we can't wait to see you soon. Thanks much. Have a great day.